Hey, what it do, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. So I'm pretty excited for today's video because we are going to be installing the water cannons. These things have been a long time coming. I made those probably about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, back when I had these big grand endeavors to go ahead and plant some fields, grow some hay, use the baler. And as you guys can see, the baler's just kind of sitting there. I got a little bit on the busy side, had to put a couple things off. But to do that, I got to open up the 4-inch water pipe. I got to plumb in the bottom of this, put in a big valve. There's probably going to be some other stuff in this video, but hope you guys enjoy it. Let's go ahead and jump on into it, and let's roll.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling out the
So Steve's gonna be hanging out with us for a little bit. He brought a part over this morning that we needed to heat up with the rosebud, bend it back. And so now we're just gonna be emptying out some water. And hopefully we can get all this stuff plumbed in and actually test these sprinklers. Well, here comes the brigade. They think we got hay for them. They're gonna be disappointed. Sorry, guys. Go ahead and get these guys shut off real quick. So something I'm pretty excited about, might seem kind of dorky, is this guy right here. I found this thing on the side of the road. I opened it up, it was kind of dirty on the inside, but I just spent the morning cleaning this thing and plugged it in. It's getting cold in there. So for about an hour or two's worth of work, I got myself a beautiful working freezer. All right, so we went ahead and filled up both of the waters. I think that's gonna have drained enough water out of the system to go ahead and open it up at the top, because this whole property has like a very gradual slope this way. So I'm hoping that's enough that we can go ahead and cut it and not make a huge mess up there. All right, so we're trying to not dig as much as possible. You guys can see our hole right here. I went ahead and cut into it. Apparently didn't drain enough water, so I called my wife real quick. She opened up a hose down at the bottom of the property. All right, so glue and pipe can only be so interesting, but you guys can see that we have our T installed, our riser. There's our big 3-inch ball valve. We have our, what's that thing called? Is that a coupler? Cam lock? Cam lock. Cam lock. This is not quite attached yet because we're still letting the glue harden and dry. We're gonna give it about another hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Technically, you're supposed to let it sit for 24 hours, but we got the sun shining today. I think it's gonna help expedite things a little bit. So once this is all connected, we'll go turn the water back on and we'll let her rip. We'll see how far this thing shoots on the electric well. Now that's kind of important because we've got our diesel powered well over there, which now that I have my solar up and working a little bit better. So we adjusted our solar panels probably about 5-6 weeks ago because they were just on top of the hay barn, laying pretty flat, and our electric bill was just through the roof. So we tilted them up to a little bit better angle, and it's super helping out with our electricity bill. So if our solar panels can keep up with the demand of the electric pump, I think I'd rather go that route than running that diesel one, but we'll see. I don't know yet, we're not sure. We're just kind of experimenting still. But anyhow, this is super close to being done. I'm not gonna get the second one done today. Probably do that one tomorrow. And then once that one's installed, I'm gonna go ahead and turn them on, water this whole field. We'll run this guy a bunch. Then I'm gonna put some seed in the ground. Hopefully it's not too hot to actually like start growing. Steve thinks we got about another 2 weeks of good planning time. Probably. So I don't know, I'm no pro. I'm just kind of, but after all this stuff sets up, we'll go ahead and turn the water on and we'll show you guys these things blasting. All right, here we go. This thing has a ton of like sideways force on it. You want to open that valve up? Just lift it up real slow, not full tilt.
Okay.
A little more. Oh my gosh.
So it's coming out of here.
I made a shoddy connection. Does it rotate though?
No.
I think it is. Open it up more. Oh my goodness.
Are you almost to the driveway?
Yeah. I kind of think the cam lock up here was a bad idea. See how it's got a little bit of play? Yeah, it wiggles back and forth a little bit.
Almost slipped in this.
You almost slipped on that?
Yep.
Oh, can you help hold this? Oh, there we go. So that was wasted money. That thing there cheap.
Said James never.
That was so. But that was so wild.
Here, I'll turn it.
Yeah, you'll really see it rotating.
Okay, all right, I see it now.
This thing is crazy. Yeah, this is gonna need some serious reinforcement. I gotta like really hold this thing. Holy cow. All right, so I ran into one little hiccup. I don't know if you guys remember when this thing was running. Like this inner circle wasn't getting very wet. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and do my best to explain what's going on. You got the main outlet right here. Massive amount of water comes out the end of this. Then you have this one right here, which you guys can see the outlet is much smaller, but this kind of does the inner circle also, but not super close. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy upright so you guys can kind of see what's going on. So you got another outlet up here, which this was in there, but I tried to take it out and, well, kind of broke it. So got to take this guy back down to the shop. So once I get this little piece back on the sprinkler and we get the sprinkler back up on the stand, I think we're gonna have like a pretty even water of circling. So it should work pretty good. I'm hoping I can get this fixed. Well, this isn't gonna fix. I gotta run in town to actually grab another one of these. Then the other sprinkler that's down that way, I'm missing a couple things to actually plumb it in. I gotta go pick up a 3-inch nipple and a couple other odds and ends for that guy. But so close. I know it's kind of late in the year to go ahead and plant, but we're gonna do it anyways. Hopefully we can get some alfalfa growing. And then if the alfalfa actually grows, it's gonna force my hand to work on the baler. It's gonna force my hand to go ahead and fix up all the implements for this old John Deere. And if things go well enough, hopefully we'll be cutting our own hay here in a little bit. But I'm gonna run into town and we'll be back at it in the morning. See you guys. All right, so I went ahead and drilled it out just a little bit. I went ahead and put the easy out in there. Hopefully this can get this thing out. Good enough for me. Let's see. Come on. Oh no! It's opening the sprinkler up. Shoot. Gosh, dang it. Crudola. No bueno. All right, so it's possible that I just destroyed the threads, but you guys can see this little piece right here. I went ahead and I already got it folded in. Took a lot of very careful finagling, but I think I'll be able to get it out now. All right, well here it comes, I hope. It's just brass, so it's pretty soft. There it is. All right, we're back at it again today. You guys can see we got the sprinkler right here. We got Mike over here to come help us a little bit. The stick welding master. I'm gonna try doing a little bit of stick welding today. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyways, this is the piece that I was talking about yesterday. I kind of ended up piecing some stuff together. It's gonna go in right there. I have a piece over in the vise that I need to go drill real quick, and then this part will be done. But this is basically what we're gonna have going on. We're gonna be building a big monster, basically subframe that gets cemented into the ground. This is the ground level right here. And then once this is installed in place, we'll take a welder up to the front of the property. They're gonna weld some sucker rod here to here, basically to make this thing like rock solid, not move. Because yesterday when we had that thing fired up, I was having to hold it pretty good from like actually tipping over. So with all the weight of this heavy steel, the concrete, all reinforced on all 4 corners, I think we'll be okay. All right, so I think this is good, pretty basic. I went ahead and Teflon taped the heck out of this thing because this did get mushroomed out just a little bit, but this isn't under super high pressure, so I think we're gonna be okay. But I'm gonna go ahead and get the workbench cleared off, drag some of that steel in, get the cutting torches fired up, gonna drag out the Miller welder, and get back to it. we're back at it again today. Hopefully today is the day that I'm actually able to make it rain, even though it's like kind of almost there. Super foggy outside, but you guys can see that we have one complete set right here. So we got one complete set right here. These 4 pieces are the outer ring. These 4 pieces are the legs that are gonna go into the ground. Got another set up here on the workbench that we're gonna go ahead and start putting together. Obviously I still need to like grind and clean these edges up, but we're gonna go ahead and get these things welded together. Then we'll take them up front, set them in the ground, and then we got a little bit more welding to do up there, but I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera up on a quick time lapse. All right, we're making pretty good progress. Got one done. Start to finish, well, not really start to finish because I already had all the pieces cut already, but for me to grind and weld and pretty much put this thing together, took me about 3 hours. Now, I'm not a pro fabricator, but I'm gonna go ahead and try and get the second one cranked out. I'm not gonna really show you guys that because it's the exact same thing as this one. But once I get that one put together, I'll go ahead and head up front. I'll dig the holes. I decided I'm only gonna put these about 18 inches in the ground, and I went with a 3-foot long piece, so this little bumper, I guess, is gonna stick up about 18 inches above the ground. All right, we got both stands built. That one went a little bit faster than the previous one. My cuts are obviously not perfect. You guys can see that we had some very big fills to do right here, but Miller Welder did an awesome job today. So we're gonna go ahead and load this one up. We already got that one hanging up right there. We're gonna take them up, go set them in place, kind of start to figure out exactly how we're gonna put them. We can dig some holes. I think that'll do nicely. Yeah. All right, so we went ahead and we got that one dropped off down there. This is the one that's gonna be like a little bit tricky because there is a ton of pipe work right here. You guys can see there's a valve right there. That pipe runs this way. I don't even remember what's right here. Another valve. Yes, we got our backbone pipe right here. It branches off into that valve. You come up here, it's got another T, goes into that valve. So when we go to set this guy, I'm just gonna have to be very careful not to break into these pipes. We'll see how it goes. But we can go ahead and bring this thing down. Get some rough. I don't think this one's gonna be perfectly centered. Should have made it 8 feet. That's originally what I wanted to do, was 8 by 8, but I was like, that's too big.
8 by 8's too big.
That would have been huge. So if this guy's a little bit off center, that's okay. All right, Mike's gonna take off. Always a huge help when he comes out, but thanks again, man.
Yeah, man.
We'll see you later.
Yep.
You ready to do some watering?
What?
You ready to add some water?
Yeah.
Okay. You know how to get the dirt out now?
Yeah.
Damn, look at you go. So I'm gonna go ahead and dig this down a little bit because what you see right here is like where it was set to the perfect length for that. So I'm gonna dig it down probably like 2 inches. Then I'm gonna put the plastic and then the concrete on top of that. And then we'll go ahead and set the tower on top of that and weld it all up. All right, well, the sprinklers are pretty much 100% done. The one down there has a couple issues. It's got one little clog, but for the most part, I'm pretty much done with these things. I couldn't be happier with how they turned out. They are just super, super stout. They do not move at all. And when you fire these things up, this whole system right here has 0 play in it. So it just turned out super awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the sprinklers on for you guys. Now keep in mind, it's just the electric well pump that is powering these things right now. The big boy ag pump is not tied into the system right now. I do need to make a small repair for it. So once that thing is tied into the system, these things are really gonna push some water. But for now, they still do a pretty good job. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this thing around so it doesn't get me soaking wet. We're gonna open up the valve down here, and you guys are gonna see how far these things actually shoot. So you guys can see that it has the big main jet right there. I had to change size real quick. I was getting kind of wet. So you guys can see that we have the big main jet on top, and then you have the little sprayer underneath, which does like kind of the halfway radius. And then we got this little baby right here, which I think I actually need to like squeeze this so it kind of does more of like that number to get the stuff that's really, really close. But you guys, I'm so excited for this. This is like a huge, huge step in the right direction. One more project that's been checked off the list. You guys can see that this has just 0 play and it turned out super, super awesome. I love this thing. But I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off because I don't feel like watering my weeds. So let's go ahead and get this thing shut down. Oh, wrong way. Ugh. So I'm kind of curious how far this sprinkler shoots while it's running off of the electric well pump. I'm just gonna walk it out. Each one of my paces is about 3 feet. So we're gonna know roughly how far the sprinkler shoots. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So from right here to where the sprinkler is roughly 80 to 90 feet. All right, I'm not gonna put the screws in this video. I would say that the sprinkler stands are a huge success. You guys can see how much closer I am to that one than I am to that one. You guys can see where the water line stops right here. So I think we're gonna have some pretty good overlap between that sprinkler and that sprinkler. But I'm just super happy with how they turned out. I think they look super awesome. They pretty much went from being just this inside part to this whole outside part, but super pleased overall with how far they spray, how sturdy they are. These things are not going anywhere. They're pretty much indestructible. Well, I guess if that thing came over here, it could destroy them. But for the most part, these sprinklers are pretty well guarded. If I bump into this with some sort of attachment that's being dragged behind the old John Deere, I think we'll be okay. But I'm gonna go ahead and put the screws in this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you do me a huge solid, like, subscribe, share this with your amigos, hit that notification button down below so you guys can continue to see progress on my endeavors to eventually become a cattle rancher, and we'll see you guys next time. Later.